You check your bank account on a random Tuesday morning. You've been working hard all year. You got a small raise. Maybe you even cut back on takeout and canceled a couple subscriptions. And yet, your net worth hasn't really moved. Your savings account has maybe $4,000 in it. Your credit card balance is still hovering around $2,500. Your retirement account has $8,000. And somehow your car loan is still $18,000. So technically, your net worth is negative. And the frustrating part? You're doing everything people told you to do. Work hard, save a little money, try not to spend too much. But here's the thing. Those rules were designed for a completely different economy. In 2026, the people who are growing their net worth quickly aren't just saving better. They're playing a completely different game. And today, I want to show you every realistic way someone can rapidly grow their net worth in 2026, including the math behind it, the psychology behind it, and the strategies that actually move the needle. Because once you see how this works, you'll realize something pretty shocking. Most people are focusing on the slowest possible way to build wealth. Introduction. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about personal finance, investing, and how people actually build wealth in the real world. If you're someone who feels like you're working hard but your money just isn't growing as fast as it should, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you out, because this channel is all about making money make a little more sense. Alright, let's talk about how net worth actually grows. Step 1. Understand what net worth actually is. Here's what most people don't realize. Your income is not your wealth. Your salary is not your wealth. Your bank account is not your wealth. Your wealth is your net worth, which is simply assets minus liabilities. Your assets might include cash, investments, retirement accounts, real estate, businesses. And your liabilities might include credit card debt, student loans, car loans, mortgages. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Two people can earn the exact same income and have completely opposite financial lives. Let me show you. Person A earns $70,000 per year. They spend $65,000 per year. They invest $5,000. After 10 years with average 7% market returns, they might have about $69,000 invested. Person B also earns $70,000, but they build systems that allow them to invest $20,000 per year. After 10 years, they end up with roughly $276,000 invested. Same salary, but nearly $200,000 difference in net worth. So income matters, but the system behind the income matters way more. Strategy number 1, increase your income, the fastest lever. Look, I'm just going to say something that might sound obvious, but it's surprisingly controversial. The fastest way to grow your net worth is increasing your income, not budgeting harder, not skipping coffee, not canceling Netflix, increasing your earning power. And the data actually backs this up. According to a study from the Federal Reserve, households in the top 20% of income earners build wealth 3 times faster than middle-income households. Why? Because math. Let's run the numbers. Imagine someone making $45,000 per year saving 10%. That's $4,500 invested annually. Now imagine someone making $95,000 saving the same 10%. That's $9,500 invested annually. Over 20 years at 7% returns, Person A ends up with roughly $184,000. Person B ends up with roughly $388,000, just by increasing income. And here's the psychological shift most people need to make. Stop asking, how can I save $20? Start asking, how can I earn $500 more this month? Because that question leads to entirely different behaviors: negotiating salaries, learning valuable skills, starting side businesses, switching industries. Which brings us to the next strategy: skill stacking. Look, most people think careers work like this. You pick one skill, you get better at that skill, and eventually you get paid more. But in reality, the highest earners stack multiple complementary skills. For example, a software developer who also understands marketing, a graphic designer who also understands sales, a teacher who also knows YouTube content creation. And suddenly, you become rare. Here's an example. A basic graphic designer might earn $50,000, but a designer who understands branding strategy and marketing psychology might charge $3,000 per project. That's skill stacking. And in 2026, the internet makes this easier than ever. You can learn AI automation, video editing, copywriting, data analysis, digital marketing, all from your laptop, and those skills can increase your earning power dramatically. But increasing income is only half the equation, because if you earn more and spend more, nothing changes. Strategy number 3, the 50% wealth rule. Here's something that might sound extreme, but it works incredibly well. If you want to grow your net worth fast, try to save 50% of every income increase, not 50% of your entire income, just the increases. So if you get a raise from $60,000 to $70,000, that's $10,000 increase. Instead of spending all of it, invest $5,000 per year. Now you still feel richer, but your wealth grows dramatically. This strategy is powerful because it avoids something called lifestyle inflation, which is the reason most people stay financially stuck. Strategy number 4, invest early and aggressively. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Nick, but investing is slow, and you're not wrong. But here's what most people don't realize. The first $100,000 is the hardest. After that, compounding starts doing most of the work. Let's look at the math. If you invest $500 per month at 7% return, after 10 years, about $86,000. After 20 years, about $260,000. After 30 years, about $609,000. But if you increase that to $1,000 per month, after 30 years, $1.2 million. Same investments, just slightly higher contributions. And this is where psychology plays a massive role, because investing requires delayed gratification. You're sacrificing today's comfort for tomorrow's freedom, which the human brain is notoriously bad at. Strategy number 5, avoid the net worth killers. All right, let's talk about something slightly uncomfortable. There are certain financial decisions that absolutely destroy net worth growth, and the biggest one, high interest debt. Credit cards in particular. Average credit card interest rates in the US are now hovering around 24%. That means if you carry a $5,000 balance, you might pay $1,200 per year in interest alone, which is the equivalent of losing a guaranteed 24% investment return. No investment beats that consistently, so paying off high interest debt is essentially a risk-free investment. Strategy number 6. Ownership beats labor. Here's where it gets really interesting. Most wealth in the world is not created through working, it's created through ownership. Ownership of stocks, businesses, real estate, intellectual property. For example, if you invest $20,000 into a broad stock market index fund and it grows at 7% annually, after 30 years you'd have roughly $152,000. But if you build a small online business that produces $1,000 per month in profit, that's $12,000 per year. And businesses often sell for 3 to 5 times annual profit, meaning that small business might be worth $36,000 to $60,000 if sold. Ownership multiplies wealth. Labor alone rarely does. Strategy number 7. Automate everything. Look, here's something I've noticed. People who successfully build wealth rarely rely on discipline alone. They rely on systems. Automatic investing, automatic savings, automatic debt payments. Because discipline fades, but systems keep working. For example, if you automatically invest $500 per month, you remove the temptation to spend that money. You never see it, which makes wealth building dramatically easier. The big psychological shift. But ultimately, growing your net worth fast requires one mental shift. Stop thinking like a consumer. Start thinking like an owner. Consumers ask, can I afford this? Owners ask, will this increase my net worth? And that single shift changes everything. Suddenly, you're more interested in investments, skills, businesses, assets, instead of just things. Final thought. Look, building wealth isn't about luck. It's not about secret stock tips, and it's definitely not about skipping coffee every morning. It's about understanding the math of money, increasing your earning power, owning assets, and giving those assets time to compound. If you do those things consistently, your net worth will start growing faster than you probably thought possible. And the earlier you start, the more powerful that growth becomes. So if this video helped you out, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, because I make videos like this every week breaking down the psychology and math behind money. And with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.